Welcome to Blind with a Vision, where we always have a vision. And the vision for today is actually answering all those questions. Well, not all those questions. I guess the fre- frequently asked questions that I get here on my YouTube channel, that I get from people that is blind, sighted family members. And I've been getting those questions throughout the years. So now that I decided to do all these live videos, I'm going to be answering those questions. I actually did just had a live for my Spanish speaking friends. And now I'm going to do this in English, even if it's just here, me, myself, and I. I'm going to check and see if anyone is waiting. Anna had a situation during her Spanish live video. I went on YouTube and I got something that I was not able to get out of the screen once I was already ready to go live. Oh my gosh, I had to undo my whole title and the whole thing and start all over, and it took me a while. Um, and let me see if I have this right now on the screen. And it's going to prevent me from do that. Hello, hello. Uh, all right. Doing everything on your YouTube channel when you are totally blind and you don't even have any sight, it is a lot of work. I was joking around with my Spanish speaking subscribers that I'm the makeup artist, I'm the videographer, I'm the one that has to fix the lights and everything. And then at the end, I don't even know if I'm ready. I don't know if my makeup looks okay. I don't know if I have my red. I love red lipstick. If it's on my teeth, not yes, on my teeth, and not anywhere else. And anyway, and it's been silly as always. Um, so if you happen to click on this video, uh, hopefully, I'm looking at the screen. I set up my iPhone on a landscape mode on my tripod, and I tend to look up. I was told, and I have to look down, but it feels weird. You know what? That's one of the things that I have is one of the questions. Why do people that is blind is always kind of looking up? I think because we don't have any visual focus. For us that are totally blind, well, I have light perception, but I don't see shadows. Um, I've been asked by sighted people, why do blind people always kind of look up and their eyes kind of move around? Well, it depends on the condition that each person has. It's not the same for every single person that is just looking up. For me, I guess it's the lack of having visual visual focus, right? Kind of tend to look up, and when I take pictures, I tell people that takes my photos. I say like, do not feel shy, do not feel bad or embarrassed to tell me to put my head down and kind of open up my eyes because my RPIs are very sensitive to light, and my ring light is kind of killing my eyes right now. And I tend to close my cute RPIs. My eyes are light brown, light brown. They're very cute, believe it or not. And I apply my blind makeup, but I'm kind of giving it time to see if anyone is going to join me here. I am so sorry. I was supposed to have this live video at 5 p.m., but you know what? On Blind with a Vision, we always have a vision. And even if the vision is a little blurry, we're always moving beyond limitations, right? Because having a vision is critical, it's a must. The blind vision has to be there. Whenever we experience vision loss, we go blind, or we're born blind, or we have low vision. Having a vision for the day, right, for the moment, and a vision in life is a must. It's critical, right? We already know, for us, the ones that went blind later in life, and we've been blind for a while, we already know that the blindness is always there, following us 24/7. It's actually doing the peekaboo once you turn the corner, once you're going down the stairs, once you are looking for the doctor's office, once you're going to the store, the blindness is there. It's always doing peekaboo, I'm here, right? So that's a lie. when some blind people on YouTube tells you that they forgot that they're blind, I go like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? The only time when I forget that I'm blind is when I'm reading a book and I actually get into the whole story, or I don't know, movie. I've been watching movies on Netflix, and I don't know, I forget. I get my dinner, or I get I don't know, my lunch, and then I either read or go on Netflix and watch whatever is trending. That's when I forget, especially reading. But that's a lie, right? So that's why it is important for me to have this YouTube channel, Blind with a Vision, right? Because we have to have a vision, a vision of what we're gonna do for the moment, and for a vision in life, right? So let me see if anyone is here, and then we're gonna start. Mm, Let me see. Good morning, Trevor. I can't believe it's morning over there. Okay, Hershey. Nice. Okay. Trevor, are you able to hear me? I did a live video last time in my English video, and I had my hair was down, and I was wearing my two AirPods, and I realized that my hair was covering my AirPods, and I think that's why it was very muffled. I listened to my video, and I go like, oh gosh, now I'm wearing my two braids. Description for my blind subscribers, the ones that are totally blind, and you guys are going to be listening to this. And I see here wearing two braids behind my ears, my Mexican braids, and I have these little gold kind of metal rings. Not at the end of my braids, like a little above, and on the at the end, I have my hair is just kind of a little curly, and I have well, I did some highlights, and I did my kind of my simple makeup, and I have red lipstick, and I have a black top that has sleeves, long sleeves, but they're actually open all the way on the top of my hand. Um, I have my left hand straight up, facing down. I'm sorry, facing down, pointing at the camera, and on the top, the sleeve is cut off all the way to the elbow. So when I lift my hand, my sleeve is actually hanging down. I love this one. I have this one is black. I believe it's black, and I have a pink one, and I have a beige. And let me see if Trevor answered, if he can hear me. Okay. Oh, Aaron's opinion. All right, so you guys can hear me. All right, so welcome to Blind with a Vision. If you happen to be someone sighted and you actually click on my video by accident, or maybe someone share with you this very simple live stream video. My name is Anna, and I live here in Southern California. I am diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, and I've been having this stinky RP for several years. By now, I only have light perception, and on the title of my stream, I actually call it "Thriving Blind," because that's going to be the name of my segment. And then I'm going to be, if well, if life allows or the universe allows, I'm going to be having these live streams streaming every Friday for my Spanish speaking subscribers, and also for English. And I noticed that YouTube likes this. Actually, oh my gosh, I don't see many views, but I've been seeing a little, few dollars going up. So that's good news. And honestly, if you happen to know Anna in person, you'll know that Anna is not about the money, although all of us, we need money, especially as the blind, because they refuse to hire us, right? But I really, one of my things that I want to do, the legacy that I want to leave before I die, before I'm gone, is actually doing something, spread information, right, about the blindness. More than spreading information and education about the blindness, is actually providing some support to anyone that is going blind, to my blind and visually impaired. And I titled this segment, um, I even forgot what I call it. Oh my gosh, I collapsed that on my video, but I call it, all the answers that you need to know about the blindness and the low vision. And I only have light perception, but I was low vision. Having retinitis pigmentosa is one of those retina weird or rare retina eye diseases, and I lost my sight as a tunnel vision. So I went through life looking through a tunnel for years. So I was low vision for years. So I know how it is to be sighted, to be have 20/20 vision, and gradually going blind. I was low vision for years, and now I only have light perception. So I guess you can say that I am not totally blind. And I receive a lot of questions, right? A lot of questions. So this is what I want to do with Blind with a Vision. And my whole focus is the vision of inclusion of people with visual disabilities, right? So one of the questions, I just share one of the questions that people always ask, right? Why do blind people look up when they're talking to you? Or the other question is, why do they always look down, right? Especially when they're eating and they kind of, it's one of those, I guess my answers here are going to come from Anna's world. I do not represent the whole blind community, right? Even if I was low vision, I do not represent every single low vision person. I do not represent the whole blind community, but I live the blindness. I know how it is to wake up, get up, put my feet on the floor, and start my whole day blindly, right? So even if I live here in the United States and you live in, there in Turkey or in Chile, Argentina, I don't know, in any other country or around the world, when we are talking about the blindness for us is pretty much the same, right? We come from a different family, different ethnic background, different socio-economical status, but the blindness is always with us 24/7, right? However, we are people, right? Meaning that we are very diverse. We are so different from each other. As I said, we come from different locations, different family, different upbringing, and we just view life differently. Now we view life through this blindness, right? And the situation that makes it the same is the way we are treated, the way we are treated by society, right? Those limitations and the consequences of the whole blindness. Um, so people, obviously we're people, so we belong to a family. So a lot of the questions that I get is from sighted people and also for blind people. And some of these questions are probably going to answer the blind and the sighted person or your sighted family member, right? So one of the questions that I get all the time, how do I get how do I help someone that is blind? How do I help a brother? How do I help a sister? How do I help my daughter? How do I help someone that is blind and is depressed? And the question from the blind is, how do I start using my white cane, and how do I stop the fear of being blind? I think those two questions go hand in hand, and it is I think they should go together. So the question from sighted people is, how do you help someone that is blind? I don't care if this is someone that I mean I do care, but for my response, if the person, if your loved one is a daughter, son who was born blind, and even after I don't know years, you have not been able to help, and I know that's the case from some people that have messaged, right? Some people message and say, I have a 20-year-old, I have a 30-year-old who has never become independent. That's the comment. They don't go out the way you do. They don't do what you do. So first of all, we are so different, right? And it as the factors for this lack of independence, quote unquote independence. Um, well, there are many. There are many, right? So I guess as a general response, I would say that the way you can actually help your loved one with a visual disability and someone that is going blind, don't don't forget that this is a person, right? It's one of the questions that people ask. How do I help a blind child? I just had a baby. I just had a kid, and my baby's blind. My response is, do not forget that before before the baby's blind, this is a baby. And what do you do when you have a baby? You love that son, you love that daughter, right? You don't just focus on the, oh my gosh, the blindness, which is what society does, honestly. They don't see beyond the blindness, and they are so focused on the blindness that they overlook that we are people and that we have needs and that we have feelings and that we have emotions and that we have, yeah, needs like employment, support, love, just those things that humans need, right? Because every society and family members are so focused on the blindness, right? Family members, they either neglect the blind kid because they cannot get rid of the pain or the fear of having a kid. So the fear is not only experienced by the person that is losing their, his or her sight, or the blind person. It's also, the fear is also experienced by the parents, siblings, right? So I would say that my response is that don't forget that your son, your daughter, your loved one, mom. Nowadays, we have a lot of older people going blind because of, aging, um, eye conditions that are related to age. So don't forget that we're people. And with the blind, we know that we are people. We don't need to convince ourselves. But very often when we go just blind, and I hear people the argument, and I was saying this in my Spanish live video, that very often I hear people saying, you know what, Anna, the best thing that happened to me was going blind, and I am, Father God wanted me to be blind to be a testimony. That's wrong. Doing those videos, going on YouTube, preaching all over that be blind is the best thing that could happen to us, the blind. You can speak for yourself. That's why I always say, whatever I say about the blindness comes from Anna's world, right? From my little narrow way, Anna's world. But I might be wrong, right? I can share what I live and how I do things and how I use my white cane and how I go shopping and how I do my whole blind vision for the day. But it doesn't mean that this is going to help you. This is gonna be the best strategy for you. It might help somebody out there, right? But one of the things is that even us, the blind, have believed that it's okay to be blind. That it's okay to believe those people that don't even see us as people, right? So the whole thing is don't forget, and the big answer is educating yourself about the blindness, low vision. Very often we go blind. Like, this is my situation. I started experiencing vision loss during my last year of high school, 18. Do you think that my family members, parents, family members, they have research about retinitis pigmentosa? Do you think that they actually know about it? I mean, I was surprised that one of my uncles from Mexico, that you can say has a lot of, should I say, ignorant in reading and academics and all books and research. I mean, he's about 76, and he came here last year, and he, after many years, I didn't see him, but he saw me, and I noticed how he wanted to cry when he saw me not blind. And I was so happy, like, oh, hi, uncle, whatever, hugging him, kissing him. And he wanted to cry, and he, was all happy, telling me that he actually went to the big city in Mexico, and he to talk to an ophthalmologist and ask about my retinitis pigmentosa, and ask if there was cure. And he was giving me all the report, right? I can say that he's ignorant when it comes to reading books and degrees and all that, but he is very smart, bright. And I was surprised because nobody, not even my brothers, younger brothers, older sisters, they haven't even checked the kids with RP, right? So educating yourself about the blindness and is what the way you can help. And for us, the blind, when we go blind, we also have to educate ourselves about the condition, about the blindness. I mean, you go on YouTube and find someone that is blind, and we learn from each other. But don't go into the whole cocoa wash that being blind is the best thing that we could um, experience, right? And the whole acceptance. Let me see if any one of you have comment and see if anyone is here. I don't. Okay. Hi, Cruz. Hi, Cruz Ramos. Uh, Me has buscado and you have found me on Facebook and you have not found me. You can find me. Me puedes encontrar en Facebook así con el mismo nombre de mi canal, Blind with a Vision, así como se escribe. Se escribe Blind, B-L-I-N-D, with W-I-T-H, with a Vision. Así como está mi canal, me puedes encontrar ahí. Comparto mucho de la ceguera. Yeah. So I'm telling him that where he can find me on Facebook. Let me see. Uh, Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. All right. So now the question about that people ask this question that goes along with this one on how to help someone that is blind is again educating yourself. And for us the blind, how do I get rid of the fear of the blindness and start going out there? Well, it's a loaded question, right? Because we are all each one of us are different. We are different. We have different levels of emotional intelligence, different levels of resiliency, right? Different levels of self-esteem. So we are just people again, right? I was talking in my video on mental health and blindness that very often everyone believes that we are depressed because of the blindness, and it's not because of that, right? So there is a lot of factors that are they prevent us from actually getting over the whole fear. But this goes along with the other question, because one of the key the important people in this whole thing about getting rid of the fear is the family, right? Having a support system, having a support system that first of all is going to take the time to actually sit down and sit with your blind daughter, blind son, blind loved one, and ask them, I mean, let's talk about it. How do you feel about the blindness? How do you feel about having lost your sight? My mom has never done that. My parents never did. My brothers, they don't. They say they're very proud of me because, yeah, because I am so smart and so beautiful, but their compliments don't really help me. What helps me is to be included. It's the same thing as when going for a job interview. Their compliments about, like, wow, you have too many degrees and you're so smart. Those compliments don't help me. What helps me is to get higher, right? So it is critical for the family to actually sit down, talk about it, make it fun, and don't. I mean, we the blind, and I can say this. I guess I can kind of generalize, and maybe this shouldn't be generalized. I think it's more painful that family members pretend that nothing is happening. That, oh, we're so. I mean, this it is critical to have therapy for us and for the family members, right? It must be difficult for a mom to have a daughter that went blind. Like my mom said, like, I suffer because you went blind. She tells me that all the time, and it's all about her. She never asks, how was it for you, right? So therapy is critical. Therapy, support system, therapy, talk, express, and I know many people don't want to deal with feelings and emotions, and they pretend like nothing happened and they don't want to talk about it, right? But that is critical. It is critical. Now, for the blind person, it's not that simple. It's not only having mom and parents and the support system and just being there and maybe doing everything for you. I mean, we always say that the family could be the ones really disabling a kid that was born blind, right? It could be they could be the ones that disable you or make you depressed because they totally ignore you, right? So there is I would say that therapy and at the beginning, if you go blind later in life, we all go through the grieving process differently, right? We don't right away start, using the cane and being so happy because, oh my gosh, I went blind, and you know what? I'm so excited. Let me try this white stick and go there. No, we are different, depending on who you are, depending if you already had depression, depending on the support system, right? Uh, but I guess as a response, if I wanted just to give you this response, what helped me and what has helped a lot of blind people and people that is low vision, besides having the support system and the resources to actually find therapy for you and help you find for the first time, if you don't know how to use a screen reader, go on YouTube and find people like Anna, find people, other YouTube channels like here, Aaron's Opinion. He has a YouTube channel here on YouTube. Trevor has his low vision in a visual world, and so many blind people, right? Besides, you have to find someone that is blind so you can see what we do and we can talk about it the way we are doing it right now. But what really helps us blind is to actually focus on what we can do as a blind person instead of focusing on the things that we're not able to do, right? Yeah, you're gonna say, Anna, you're always talking about, the exclusion and what they don't do for us and what you, right? But this, I do that because this is my channel. This is what I'm interested in talking, because nobody else is talking about it. I went online and I was researching YouTube channels who actually have, about blind people, or from blind people who have talked about mental health, and the blindness. I didn't find almost nothing, right? No one is talking about it. So the what really helped me for me was focusing on what I'm able to do. I knew that I was able to learn a white cane, and I found out as I went out there to practice that I could, just get to the corner and then come back, and then go around the block and come back and practice for the whole week around the block, going left, 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 left until I got to my door, right, to my apartment, or go right, right, right until I come back, right? And when I don't want to go far, far away, I at least go and go for a short walk, right? So I focus on that. I focus on the fact that I could actually also learn the things that I needed to learn as a blind person, right? So focus on the things that you can do. Someone here on my last live stream message and mentioned that that's the way. Was it a he or she? I forgot. That focusing on the things that we can do is what's going to help you, right? Because if we're always focused on the things that we're not able to do, that's what prevents you from starting to use your white cane for the first time, right? I was on my Spanish video, and someone that has low vision, and he has followed me for a while, from Argentina. He goes, I have low vision and I still have difficulty going to seek therapy, professional help, to process the whole blindness, and I refuse to use my white cane because I'm embarrassed that people will see me. This is what I have to say about the being blind, being embarrassed. You know what? It is embarrassing at the beginning. I experienced it. I'm sure many that went blind later in life experience that. And if that is your situation, we understand. It is not fun when your friends and your boyfriend now sees you with a white cane, or your girlfriend, or they leave because they don't want to be with someone blind. And when we're low vision, we're able to hide it. But I was telling this person that, I mean, you go like, I wish I could go for a walk. I mean, he has no vision. He can do it. And people are. I told him, people are gonna see you there, and they might approach you to say hi. They might not, and they're gonna go home, and they're gonna comment about it. Oh, I saw so and so. Poor Anna. She's now blind. I saw her walking with a cane, and I feel sorry for her. She was walking a little different and weird. But you know what? That's all they're gonna do. This person is not gonna go to sleep thinking about you. This person is not gonna think about you the next day or the next week and thinking if you have money, if you're able to do stuff. No, and you're gonna be embarrassed thinking that they're actually thinking about you every single day, and that's not true. So that's what helped me to think, to actually focus. And one of the things that I have always practiced is practicing gratitude. I'm grateful for just, not for the blindness, but I'm grateful I don't have any other disability. I'm grateful I'm not blind and deaf. I'm grateful I'm able to move and I have my hands and I have a place to live and I don't have much, but I'm grateful. Being grateful for what you have, and because you're able to hear, and because even if you're not able to hear, you can still do things. I'm sure it's difficult, but uh, that is something that helped me, being in the United States. Because if I would have been, was in Mexico, I don't think I would have had all the things that I have as I have here. So I'm grateful for being in the United States and having been able to do a lot of the things that I did, like my degrees. They pay for my first master's degree, rehab pay for it. I pay for my second master's degree. So there you go. Focus on that, and that might be the beginning of you starting to actually get rid of the fear. And you know what? We always say, and we have said this here over and over with Trevor here, that we if you don't accept, and this is one of those situations where I'm really going to use the concept of acceptance, because everyone pushes the acceptance. If you don't accept that once we are blind, totally blind, or blind, low vision, that we move differently. Come on, we walk with a cane or a guide dog, and that we don't move the same, and that we're gonna make mistakes. Uh, I mean, you if you don't accept that, then you're gonna have to stay home without doing anything and not allowing anyone to see you. Because the fact is that we move differently. We move different. We walk differently. So of course we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna bump into things. We're gonna get lost. But with practice, you're gonna be able to do it. I promise you that you will be able to do it. Now, I don't want to disregard low self-esteem and depression and all those things. And if you want to actually check my video here, I'm gonna go ahead and include the link from our previous video here on depression and mental health. I'm going to go ahead and add this here so you can take a look and listen to what we talk about it. Let me see if anyone has joined and you guys have any questions. Let me see. No. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm here. Mm, let me see. Let me see. Hold on. All right. So one of the next questions that people always ask is about love. And they asked me a lot this, and I actually did this video already like 2 weeks ago for the Spanish speaking subscribers, and I get this a lot from people from Mexico, Central South America, and I know that this is not the only. This is a question that a lot of people have a concern about. I mean, if you are blind or low vision, will you ever find a partner, a girlfriend? uh, Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife? Are you able to get married and have children? Well, go back to the previous question. We are people, so the only thing we have is the lack of sight, or not the whole sight. I mean, by logic, I'm not saying hello, but of course we can. Yeah, we have the lack of sight. We're not heartless. Well, some of us are, right? But of course we are. Now, I know I'm trying to be here being funny, but I know why my people ask. Why? Because, I mean, if you really research, and we do conduct a whole study about blindness and love, right? Or dating. I used to do these rooms on Clubhouse, and I would title these rooms Finding Love When You Are Blind or Low Vision, right? I did that for a reason, because one of the things that I observe, and I have observed this since I had low vision, is that there is a lot of single, blind, and low vision people. That's a fact. So if people want to argue with me, well, show me the findings from your study. because that's a fact. Why? For obvious reasons, right? Because we are limited. From my point of view, we are limited, and because of the blindness and because of the consequences of societal consequences. So the mentality from society, right? And some of the limitations is that is so complicated because I'm thinking about the dimensions of the human well-being, right? And just to mention mention those is, the physical, that dimension where if we are not physically healthy or whatever, then it's a situation, not only the blindness, right? We already have the physical blindness, but the social, no, the social dimension. So socializing is critical, right? But is it easy for us the blind to socialize? I would say no. No, the emotional dimension, the whole blindness brings a lot of emotional issues, right? What about the intellectual? Well, it's one of those things that I mentioned that it really is one of my big ones. I love reading, and we have to continue reading about the condition and about anything and feeding the intellect, right? Now, the spiritual is the one that helps a lot of people in many other areas of situations, not only the blindness. Spiritual, believing that there is a powerful someone up there that is watching you and taking care of you, right? That's what helps a lot of people, right? So, what about the financial? Is one of the issues where the blind people are lacking, right? And I'm mentioning all of this because of a reason. It's related to the whole question about is it possible, to find love when we are blind? Of course, we're people. No, money is a problem, right? What about the other? What is another dimension? I think I'm forgetting one. Environment. Environment is one of those dimensions. The place where you live. It could be the situation, right? There is people that they say all they need is God, and they don't need anything else. I had a client who was 70 and she was vegan, and she would go to church 5 days a week, 7 days a week, and she would tell me, I don't need anything else, Anna. My food, my vegan food, and church, and I have everything. Yeah, but she wasn't documented, and she was sleeping on the couch. She would stay with the son who had schizophrenia, and he was beating her up. So I had to made a report. I had to call Adult Protective Services, and that's not true. The whole spiritual life and the nutrition, which has to do with the physical, was not everything she needed. She needed more than that, right? So for us, the blind, thinking about all those dimensions of the human well-being, or to be, to have well-being or to have a quality of life, if we're lacking a lot of those, then it's not easy because they play a role, right? Sighted people, first of all, I'm going to generalize. I know that there is people that they're not, and it's not right to generalize, to make overgeneralizations, but sighted people, they do look at the visual, right? They do look at someone, if she or he is handsome, pretty, and that's how they approach a girl, right? So for us the blind, I would say that a lot of the sighted people, they go like, oh yeah, Yana, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty, whatever, or whatever, you're so smart, and they can just look at you, but they don't want to be. Some of them, some sighted people, they don't want to be with someone that is blind, and some blind people, they don't want to be with someone sighted. It's true. Maybe some of us reach that point where you just go like, you know what, I don't want to be with anyone that is sighted. I feel more comfortable with the blindness, and we are also guilty of that. So, I mean, when someone is sighted, you can go into somewhere and just see someone from across the room, and you go like, ah, you can just lock eyes and look at each other and start talking and whatever. We don't have that. And if on top of that, we have the whole situation coming from a location, family, whatever, where there is a lack of money, right? and we're not hired and we don't have the job, you don't have the money to go out there and expose yourself and even travel to meet friends. Right now, we have always said that technology is these long distance relationships are very common among blind people because it's been years and years and decades that blind people were able to actually access online dating, and they talk to people, but then they don't have the money to actually make it possible and go and visit someone. And if the parents are not afraid that something is going to happen to the daughter or the son, or he or the blind person is also afraid, it never happens. So we do have a lot of limitations. However, it is possible. After having said all of that, it is possible. We also fall in love. We like people. I think that one of the difficulties, as I was saying in my Spanish video, the difficulty is that the blind community is so small and we actually know each other. Very often, I was saying in my Spanish video that I get messages on WhatsApp from blind people and they're all right away asking me, "How are you?" "Oh, I like you, Anna," whatever. And then you know someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows this person, and this person, he actually has a girlfriend, or he has a wife, or he's actually talking to two of my friends. And then they gain a reputation, and you don't want to give them the opportunity. And everyone knows it, and the blind community knows this person. So you don't want to give them an opportunity. No way. Because you're actually, they're not actually stopping on your chat because they actually like you. It's because you're one more option. And it's very common among the blind community, you guys, honestly. So if you're going to do that, I don't know, you might find someone that is a female. In the case of, I'm speaking from the female perspective. You might find someone that, yeah, is also doing the same thing. And then you guys are going to find each other. And if you like each other that way, where she's just looking for options and options and options, I think what happens here is that because of the lack of socialization and the money to go and socialize and go here and go there, and because of the inclusion, even from siblings and family members, and not being able to go, I mean, to all those places, and people can say like, "Anna, you're so negative." Well, you have to live in the blind community to actually know what I'm talking about. Anyone that is sighted can argue this with me, but I bet you that if you go blind, you'll be on the other side and you'll know what I'm talking about. Right? Friends are gonna disappear. They invite you when they invite you when it's convenient, when you're needed. If not, you're not. Right? So we the blind actually make our own circle of friends and gather with each other, whatever. But the blind community is a very small community. So we know people. I know someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows Erin. I don't know if you are still here, but I know. Now, not everyone is the same. Not everyone is reaches a point where it's desperate, because people get desperate. I think that's the biggest mistake that you can make. I would say that what you can do, what really helps, is actually talk to people. Talk to people. Don't start by asking, "Oh, how are you?" or "I like you," or whatever. Someone messaged me weeks ago, and I've been answering some messages here and there. And someone from Central America, South America, yeah, Central America, and I didn't even know the number because it's a number without the name of the contact. And I responded, right? He's in Spain now, and reply with all these audio messages, and I go like, "Oh, of course I know who you are. He has messaged me for years, here and there. Right now he lives in Spain, whatever. And now he go like, oh, you know what? Now he's talking to me like if I don't know." I go like, "Don't talk to me like if you're a boyfriend already. I just send you an audio message as a someone that you is my subscriber." And then he's telling me about someone in Florida that he knows from Venezuela, and he's also from Venezuela. And go like, we know each other. We do, right? So keep that in mind. I'm saying that for a reason. We actually are a very small community. You gain reputation, then someone that really like you might end up not liking you. Uh, and just talk. I think I think everything starts with a conversation. getting to know each other, getting to know other people, and don't get desperate. Um, I think that's how it is. And I think we should, I don't know, be open to just talk to people. And I don't know if should say that we shouldn't shoot people, but that we should not discriminate decided. I don't know. I think at the end, when you like someone, you just like someone. It doesn't even matter all those rules. But of course, yeah, we someone from Ecuador messaged years ago, and he told me that when he went to the university, people ask him, "Are you able to have a girlfriend? Are you gonna ever gonna get married? Are you gonna have sex?" He said, "Yeah." Do you see my penis on my forehead or what? And it was the funniest thing. But I go like, yeah, we do have everything we need as a as a person. The blindness, like one of my friends used to say, like Anna, she has polio. She goes, I do not have sex with my leg. You know how I have sex, right? With my heart and something else. So there you go, right? Let me see if anybody else has joined. Let me see. Uh, yeah, he's Trevor's comment. Yeah, we have to practice. It's better to adapt. Someone was just telling me that we have to adapt and not give up. That's it. If you just tell me that you have accepted the blindness, but you have not adapted, then something is wrong with the picture, right? Now, another question that people always ask me, a lot of these questions are actually connected. Um, how do I start using the cane? How do I mean, I just want to use it, but I just can't. It's the same as we mentioned before. That question, they send me that question a lot. People that is sighted message me, and they tell me that they share with me that they have a daughter that is blind, and that the daughter is depressed at home and not wanting to go out. Um, and and then the daughter or the son, they actually message me on YouTube, and they tell me, oh, whatever. They message by email. And they also ask me, I really want to just start using my cane, but I'm so afraid. It's the same. Exploring why, I mean, we understand, because it's normal to go through the grieving process, through the whole shock and disbelief. And if you were born blind, maybe you just never, I don't know, whoever raised you, your parents, grandma, whoever, they never took the time to teach you, to call a location where they have classes or rehab or orientation and mobility for someone that is blind. I know that a lot of people in Central and South America, they tell me like, oh, we don't have the money. We don't have mobility instructors the way you do. I mean, here I can just call the Braille Institute tomorrow and say, hey, I actually just found a location. Can you help me practice how to get there? I just got a job and I need to know what buses I'm going to be taking, and they will. And I know the locations don't, but I mean, do family members, do you ever think about uh, taking your loved one and make it a whole event and a fun one, and do the sighted guide where the person is actually holding on to you on the right hand, if the person is right-handed, holding on to you and using their cane, and without worrying about using the cane or using the right mobility orientation and mobility skills, just take the person for a walk around the block and describe. I mean, if they could see before, they remember, but if they didn't, describe the whole. Just go for a walk and describe visually, right? Show all, this is a driveway, there is grass over here, right? And then the next day or the next time, go and actually go for the same walk, and with the cane, show them visually. Like, visually means using your cane. Touch the grass and feel the grass, feel the pavement, feel the how why this sidewalk is and show those, right? And then do it the way we do it when we go for a guide dog. We go and get a guide dog, and the first 3 days they observe us. They take us for a walk, and they observe how we walk and who we are, right? And then when they give us the guide dog, we go out there. But I know, like the first time, they put this long, I think it's called a T leash, a leash that is elastic and is also attached to the harness. I am holding onto the harness with the leash, the regular leash, but the trainer is behind you. So in case there is a car coming out of the driveway, or if we're gonna cross the street, they right away pull, right? Or they grab you from the back on your shirt. So you can actually do the same. Go with the person, show them, right, before watching about how to grab a cane. And I mean, you guys can actually together do this. This is when I keep talking about the family needs to get involved. Family members need to get educated, and when I say getting educated, is learning about the blindness, learning about the white cane, right? So if someone doesn't have an orientation and mobility, family members can easily make the time, at least twice a month, at least once a month. 30 minutes. What is 30 minutes, you guys? To go and actually visually describe this. I know that that's what I have done in the past when I had someone willing to just go. I guess I have some people that I can call and ask, and I say, hey, can you show me how I did, this over here? Even if they don't know, they're not a mobile instructors, they can actually help. So I would say that if the fear is so huge and is really preventing you from actually wanting to use your cane and go there, I would say start from home when no one sees you. Practice your wrist at home. I would say from the moment that you get up, grab that cane, go down the stairs, go in your patio and everything, and just get used to it at home. And then have someone showing you or the mobile instructor, and then do it little by little. You can practice for weeks if you want to, going for a walk around the block, right? Um, and I think that way you're going to feel better, right? Now, another question that I always get. Uh, I mean, I get so many questions, but I'm just actually I'm answering those questions that are critical about um, what is the easiest way to learn accessible technology? How come I'm so smart and I know how to take videos blindly and I have a YouTube channel? Let me tell you that I'm not the pro when it comes to all this accessible technology. I'm not. A lot of blind people are, but I'm not. My response to that question has always been the same. Make sure you contact some blind people, get in touch with me, with someone that you find on YouTube channel, your rehab school, someone, find blind people on WhatsApp. We are the experts. We're gonna guide you. I promise you. When it comes to when it's about the blindness, with the blind, do not care if you're old, young, whatever. We always support each other. Someone is going to be so ready to teach you how to use an iPhone, an Android, a Windows, whatever. You can find information on YouTube, social media, if you have access. Now, if you come from someone that doesn't know how to use the internet or whatever, ah, gosh, someone years ago, someone very little told me, I was telling this little one that people tell me that I'm so smart. And my response is not, no, I'm not smart. I'm just resourceful. And this little one told me, to be resourceful, you have to be smart. But I guess being resourceful is a huge thing. You need to be resourceful. If your parents don't have, I don't know, you don't get along wherever. I mean, you can just make a phone call and ask for help. I don't know. Call your insurance. Ask for if the insurance covers therapy, talk therapy. You can start talking to a psychologist and she can find you all the resources, social worker, social services, call someone, tell them I'm blind, I need this, right? Resourceful. You need to be resourceful and very um, don't just sit and say like, oh, I don't have any help. All they can tell you is not. All they can say is no, honestly. So I guess I receive a lot of questions from sighted people that ask me for help with accessible technology. I wish I would help. I would have the ways to actually help people. Maybe in the future. In the future, all this accessible technology is so expensive, but you can actually start with, I don't know, basic. Basic, I know. Sounds very easy, and it's not if you live in an area where you don't have help. Um, Now, the biggest question, how do I find a job being blind? That is a huge, huge question, and it actually requires a whole live stream just to answer that. And we're going to be talking about that. Let me see if I have anyone. Okay. All right. All right. This thing about employment, and we're gonna be. I was just checking the time. It's actually getting late, and then people go complain. I go like, Anna, don't make your videos too long. I go, well, you can actually watch the videos in small portions, or just don't watch it, right? Or fast forward. By the way, do not skip the ads on my videos or anyone's videos, because if you skip the ads, we don't make any sense. Honestly, we don't. Now we have to wait for whatever seconds, but actually, once you skip, then we don't get the whole, sense, because it's actually sense what you make on YouTube, unless you are one of the ones that it has millions and millions and millions of views. Not even those who have 2 million make a lot of views, a lot of views, honestly. So the whole thing about how are you able to work if you are blind? And I know this is a very valid question when it comes from a parent or a sibling, and when it comes from someone that just went blind. I know that someone that was born blind or was always low vision, you already know. You don't even. That's why sometimes you go like, oh my gosh, these people that just went blind are TM too much, right? Well, we don't know, right? At the beginning, we don't know. We just have to meet other people to actually find out, and then adventure out there and be proactive, which is what I said. Be proactive, be resourceful, be proactive. Ask, talk a lot the way I do. People get bothered because I talk a lot, but you know what? I make sure to use my voice. So you have to use your voice as well to get away with whatever you want. Otherwise, no one is going to come and knock on the door and say like, hey, poor blind person, you just went blind or you're blind. Do you need help? Believe me, no one will come and knock on your door and actually ask you. Mm-mm. Right? So about the job, we at the beginning, I remember I used to cry and cry and cry, just imagine that I was never going to be able to continue with college. And well, I was actually in high school. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to college and get a degree, and I wanted to be an architect, and I didn't become an architect, but I did get my degrees, and that feels great. I was very discriminated in classes, but you what? I didn't focus on that. I focused on that. The fact that I knew I could do it. I knew I live in the United States where we have ADA, and somehow that ADA protected me with my accommodations, right? And I knew I struggled with English as a second language, and I got points taken away because instead of putting an ED, I didn't do it, or I put an ED, past tense, when I didn't have to. But guess what? Compared to some natives, I always got A's. I never got any issues with my papers not having the right content and the right format. Of course, I had my typos, and I still do, and I do not care. Honestly, I go on Facebook and I do all my publications. I go, whatever, just, send, post. And that's how it has been for me. So about the job, I used to cry thinking like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do anything. And then you find out that other blind people actually have jobs and they have their degrees and they have jobs. And then you find out that they pay for all those degrees, but then they don't want to hire you. That's a fact. That's why we're going to have a live video about that, right? Hashtag what about employment for people with visual disabilities? That's going to be the whole topic. And we are able to actually work. Believe it or not, I met some people. I'm thinking about some people in Central South America, Mexico. There is this guy who actually followed me for about 2 years, and he messaged not long ago. He goes, Ana, I believe it or not, I still watching your videos. I do, and it's been almost 5 years that I actually got a job thanks to you. He goes, I was so depressed. He was already 35 when he went blind. He happens to be from the same state where I come from in Mexico. And he goes, you know how life is over here, being blind. I go like, no, I don't. I didn't live over there when I was blind, when I started going blind or when my blindness got worse. And he goes, and I actually learned how to go out there, and I actually created my own little business, and I actually have my salary. He goes, now he even got married, and now they have a kid. So there you go. And it's not easy when you live in countries like Mexico. I'm from there. I know how it is. I know how it is. I mean, I was lucky that my mom and my parents were always here, and they always send us money for food and clothes and everything. Uh, but I come from a very, very, very poor family, even though grandmas on both sides were the ones that had, but we were not like by either family. So interesting, right? So that's when my mom and my dad came here. So it is possible. It is possible. I would say end up with a response here to end up my live stream, saying that for us the blind, and this goes for you family members, and for the blind or low vision person, for us to actually get a job, we need to learn everything we need to learn as a blind person, right? All those skills. I was saying that I have never been great in technology, but I learn very fast whenever I have to. I always learn as I go along, and that was always the case. If I need to learn, I don't know, something, I go and learn about it, right? If I forgot how to do something, I message someone blind. I say, "Hey, I forgot how to do this," right? And I learn about it. But if you ask me to teach you everything, I'm really good at. I'm such a quick learner, and that is my top one when I go to job interviews. When they say, "Oh, you don't have, I don't see experience," and they say, "Yeah, but I'm honestly, everyone says this," and I joke about it during an interview. I'm very quick at learning, right? So as a blind person, if you are really concerned and crying the way I was years ago, because I was never gonna get a degree, I was never gonna get a job, and I was gonna be, just so unhappy. uh, it's not true. But you need to start focusing on the things that you can do, and be open to explore options, right? So this is something that you family members need to understand. The more you push the blind person to do this and this and this because you think that's what's good, the more resistant sometimes your blind loved one will be, especially if they still going through the whole grieving process, right? Sometimes it's just laziness, honestly, because after 20, 30, 40 years of not wanting to go out there, then you just have to leave it alone and do everything for them, honestly. Just like anyone else. Someone was just asking me about someone that is almost 60 years and was asking me what's wrong, what's the condition, because this person doesn't work and doesn't want to do anything. I go, that's laziness. That is laziness. That's nothing else. And because they always give him everything. I have to say that is someone in the family. They always give him everything, right? I'm sure that there is more than that. There are internal issues. I'm sure that at this point there is depression and a lot going on, but we need to just get up and focus on what we're able to do. And let me tell you that for us to actually get a job, you need to become really good at what you do, whatever that is, right? In this case, learning how to use your iPhone, Android. We can do so much with an Android, iPhone, a computer, NVDA, JAWS, whatever screen reader you find more accessible and accommodates to your need. Um, and I don't know, find the resources again. You want to go to the community college, get a degree. You want to call rehab and tell them that you want a technical, I don't know, um, I don't know, like a short whatever, a technical career, whatever. Um, Sometimes getting degrees and degrees will not secure a job. Honestly, will not. Um, I don't know. Nowadays, a lot of blind people they actually come up with their own little business, and we have a lot of options now online. So I would say start researching. I messaged someone asking about this grant that Biden um, made available. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago when I think it was 2 years ago. And he offers like blind people. I think it's depending on the state where you live, $50,000 to actually work and open up your own business. I did call the rehab program about must have been 3 months ago, and they told me like, "Oh, we don't do that. We don't know about that." But did I stop asking and going online and finding out about it? Right? No. Um, it's not easy. I'm not gonna say that it's easy. It's not easy to find a job. It's not. You just have to be very stubborn about it and be lucky to be the one that happened to actually apply for the job at the moment that they needed a blind person because that's how it is. And there is people that they have jobs with the state and they say, I don't know why you say that. And I'm very successful and I work for the state. But yeah, because they needed a blind person to actually do the job that someone sighted is not able to do. And you happen to be at the right moment, the right location, and at the right time. And you're also smart and you qualify. But there is a lot of blind people that is qualified, overqualified for jobs, and they could have been the one that was hired. It's just that there are not enough jobs for us in those locations where they actually hire someone blind. And the sighted companies they refuse to actually hire us. Anyway, the next question has to do with physical appearance and how do you. I receive a lot of questions on how do you do your hair. How do you fix your hair? How do you apply your makeup? How do you do this? And I actually I'm gonna just do that in one single streaming next week, and I'm gonna do the same for Spanish for my Spanish um, like video, and that is because the uh, personal hygiene is critical. It's critical. There is a lot of people, not a lot, but it's very common from guys. I get messages from guys in Central South America, and they say like, "Oh, Anna, my mom and my sister told me that you always wear makeup and that you fix your hair and you color your hair and whatever." You're like, it's very common that I hear like blind females here in Mexico. They just wear the little, I don't know, pants and a big t-shirt and their hair is on a band and nothing and they just look like they just got up. You guys, the sighted wall, the world is sighted. It's very visual. They can see, and now because we're not able to see, we're just gonna not gonna pay attention to that, uh, physical hygiene and how we look. It is critical and important. And I'm gonna see if I have any questions. If not, I'm gonna close this. Hi, Mackenzie. Nice to read your name here. Oh yeah, Mackenzie is into the whole Android. Yeah, read the comment from Mackenzie. She said that I forgot to mention the commentary is created for the yeah talk back. Yeah, with the iPhone, we have the screen reader, which is voiceover, and the Android. A lot of people from Central South America use an Android, Mackenzie, because they have more options, with lower prices. I think that is not the case with iPhones. Like in Argentina, blind people tell me that sometimes they even pay 3 times the price that we pay here for an iPhone. They don't have an Apple store unless they do now, and I don't know about it. But Apple didn't want to follow the guidelines and rules that Argentina established when they wanted to open up a store there, and they said no. So a lot of people, retail stores sell iPhones, but they take advantage, and sometimes they pay even $3,500 for an iPhone when I pay, 1,500 or yeah, 1,600. Um, so an Android and their TalkBack, the screen reader is called TalkBack. That's a great option. Let me see. All right, so uh, we are going to go. Let me see. Mm, sorry, I'm putting my hand on the screen. All right. They switched my finish button. Well, I hope you guys. I see 4 people on the watching, but I'm not able to see who. If you guys don't comment, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Trevor. For anyone that doesn't know Trevor, he has a YouTube channel called Low Vision in a Visual World, sharing from England his adventures out there, like mine. There is Aaron's opinion, who was here. I don't know if you still hear Aaron. Aaron has Aaron's opinion. He has a podcast, and he also has a YouTube channel. And he's always interviewing people from all over the world, right? And this is Blind with a Vision, where the main focus is the vision of inclusion of people with visual disabilities. So why not advertising those who have a YouTube channel? And if you are sighted, please go and take a look at the videos that we have. Educate yourself so you're able to help your loved one that is experiencing vision loss, your blind child, and educating yourself, and of course the mental health uh, link is going to be below here in the description. And yeah, I'll see you next Friday, and we're going to be talking about fun stuff, matching clothes and what do you wear, how do you fix your hair, makeup, and guys, how do you match? Don't just wear black and white, you guys. That's not fun. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video. I'm actually gonna go and do a live video on Facebook on my Vision of Inclusion group, and maybe on the Facebook, just to check in. I see the big difference that it makes when I remain involved on these live videos, even on YouTube, uploading videos, and on Facebook. I keep getting asked to monetize and getting stars and this and that. But more than anything, I see people actually following me and subscribing um, more and more, and receiving questions on Facebook. How do someone just message yesterday? I have a brother who is going blind because of glaucoma. How do I help him, right? Same question over and over and over, right? So you can also follow me on Facebook, Blind with a Vision on Facebook, Blind with a Vision 2020 on Instagram. Although anything that I post on Instagram goes on Facebook. And on Facebook, I do my whole Anna American Mexican novels. I write a lot about these topics, and I don't know. That is therapy for me. And if by doing auto therapy that help you, even better, right? I'll see you in the next vision. Bye, besitos. Love you guys. Let me find. Let me find my end button. I know it was misbehaving, and sorry, I have my hand on the screen. Let me see. All right. Don't forget, if you arrive late, go and watch the video, please. I never do the whole like and subscribe, but like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget the blind vision, right? Love you guys. Adios. I'm too close to the screen and I get self conscious about it. You're going to see my pimples. No, I don't have any pimples, you guys. I don't. I don't. Maybe my lipstick on my teeth. Love you. Besos.